all of you. So 6 years we've completed. They say that a majority of the companies that start, after 5 years, 60% of them fail. They stop to exist after around 6 years, majority of them. And I think there are different reasons, but I think there are 5 reasons at a high level why they fail. 80% of the reason why they fail is cash flow खत्म हो जाता है. Customers stop paying or customers delay payments, and then the cash flow impacts the company. Second is lack of planning. Leadership चूक करती है, management चूक कर जाती है और इसीलिए company fail हो जाती है. Third is failure to understand the market. We don't understand the market properly. We don't understand हम किसको serve कर रहे हैं. And since we don't understand their problem statements, since we don't empathize with our customers, we end up giving them something that they don't want. So that's another reason why we fail. Fourth one is not doing it for the right reasons. Some people want to earn money quickly. ब्याज से ज़्यादा पैसा entrepreneurship में शायद मिलता है उनको लगता है, तो they start something without having the proper skills of starting the company. And the fifth one is not managing their financials properly. So honestly, a lot of these responsibilities are common. I think we've done something right in all these 5 aspects. That's why we've been able to do what we've been able to do. And for that, I'm genuinely grateful to all of you. So this is a team effort. What do I see us doing now? So there's a concept called vision board. It's a book called Secret by Rhonda Wright. If you've read it, really very corny kind of book. But there's a concept that's referred to it called a vision board. In a vision board, you basically write कि अगले 5 साल बाद आपको क्या लगता है कि आप क्या कर रहे होगे, आपकी कंपनी क्या कर रही होगी, आप एक vision board बनाते हो. And then you kind of keep looking at it, and then what ends up happening is that your visions come, to reality. They become real. They say that once you put all your efforts into whatever you've set out to achieve, providence, kainat or higher powers kind of support you in achieving that requirement. I often laugh when I hear people say that I'm a self-made man, right? अगर सबको सारे self-made हैं तो फिर ऊपर वाले ने किसको बनाया है? So I think God is kind. I think this is all because of God's wishes that we've been able to do so well. My dad still doesn't believe the work that we are doing. He still thinks I'm bluffing. That we're doing work for the parliament, we're doing work for airports, we're doing work for banks, we're doing works for universities. I think it's an incredibly proud thing that all of us are able to achieve together. Where do I see us going next? When I say planning and lack of planning and proper planning, where do I see us going next? 3 points. One, I think that 6 साल अब हो गए, अगले 6 साल or beyond, what do I see us doing? I think one is that it's an opportunity for us to become a cloud kitchen like Zomato and Swiggy you've heard of, right? So what ends up happening is this one large industrial scale kitchen, and in that kitchen there is different brands जिसका खाना बन रहा है. तो सामने brand अलग है, but in the back there's a one common kitchen that does that work. So I think that there's one opportunity. If I cannot become the scale of 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 crore companies, I think the potential that I see us achieving is that we become the cloud kitchen of every single large MSI, master systems integrator in the country, which basically means that any large infrastructure or application project that's being delivered all across the country, be it any large company that you can think of, at the back end it's us who's delivering it. So that's one opportunity. I kind of advertise myself like that only. All my sales efforts, wherever I travel all across the country, is this only to establish relationships with these entities so that we become the partner of choice for all these people. So that's number one that I see us doing. Number two is that in order for us to be relevant for the next 6 years, I think we cannot afford to be only plumbers of the data center or be the back-end guys. We have to create stickiness by touching the application. So we have to metamorphosize ourselves into a software development company for which a lot of efforts are being put in by all of us. So what you'll see is, and that's something that I encourage all of you also to do, don't consider yourselves network engineers. Oftentimes when I shake hands with people and tell them that who am I say I am Abhijit Anand, I am the CEO of Zindagi Technologies, and we are a cyber security and software development company. I've started introducing myself as that person. All right. So every one of you, I'd say, invest time in learning software development, in learning automation. Become good at it. That's point number 2, right? So a lot of stickiness will be created when we are not only the infrastructure guys, but we're also the application guys. All right. That's number 2. Number 3 is another way to create stickiness is by getting into managed services. My daughter is 5 years old, so she often asks me कि आप पापा कहाँ जा रहे हो? मैं बेटा customer side जा रहा हूँ. He says customer side पे करते क्या हो? So I don't know how to explain it to a 5-year-old, right? So I say that I basically make my customers' problems my own. मैं अपनी customer की problems को अपनी problems बना देता हूँ, and I try to create value for them. समझ तो उसको तब भी नहीं आया, but that's what I try to convey to her, right? And so if you look at it from this perspective, a lot of you know the kind of work that we're doing right now. Huge organizations, part of Digital India, Skill India movement. We are responsible for their uptime. We are responsible for their reputation. We are responsible ताकि उनको data loss ना हो. We are responsible कि उनका कोई cyber security का breach ना हो. उनकी website, उनकी performance, उनकी applications बरकरार रहें. उसकी responsibility हम लोग ले रहे हैं. It's a huge responsibility, and I can't take it on my own. I know मेरी पिट आप लोग. It's you guys because of whom I can go and tell that customer that I am responsible. Your problems are my problems, and because you are there, my team is there, I can say that to them, I can make that commitment to them. Alright, so Cloud Kitchen, application and managed services are the 3 focus areas for Zindagi. That's what we've decided as the leadership and management team. A few days ago, I think some of you know I started my career in Cisco's Technical Assistance Center, and honestly, a lot of you, I've told you offhand that a lot of the way I do things nowadays is because of whatever I learned back then in Cisco's Technical Assistance Center. It just like a pencil is sharpened by a sharpener. I think that role that the TAC played in my life is something that I'll always be grateful for. So I met a student a few days ago. 5 दिन पहले I met a student of mine, and he was telling me, how are you doing? मैं आपको पीछे देखते रहता हूँ as Eklavya and Dronacharya and whatnot, and I keep getting impressed by the work that you're doing. तो मजा आ रहा है सर? But obviously मैंने उनको बोला मजा आ रहा है मेरे को. But to you, I'll give you the honest answer that when I started this company, I used to spend time with each and every one of my team members. I enjoyed being a mentor. I enjoyed being a teacher. So one of my hobbies is gardening. I love to see things grow, and I love to see how my efforts are bearing fruit. I don't get a chance to do that anymore. I don't get a chance to be a mentor and a trainer anymore. Invariably, a lot of you know that the people who we've hired some of them have a training background, and I've always got a soft spot for trainers, because they give what their knowledge is, and that contributes in other people's growths. So that's what I enjoyed doing a lot more. Being an entrepreneur for me always meant freedom, right? I had the freedom to do what I want to do, to create what I wanted to create, to build things, to engineer things. And that's not something I do nowadays. So it makes me a little sad sharing that with you. So I miss that freedom, and I'm hoping that one day I'll go back to becoming a mentor once again for each and every one of you. Now with this person, I was sharing about the journey of how Zindagi began. To all of you, I will suggest, spend time here, but eventually have a goal of becoming an entrepreneur. Don't be only an employee, but consider becoming a vendor. So that's, I think, what your long-term goal would be. even now, after the sadness that I have for being an entrepreneur, the one regret that I have is that I should have started sooner. I'm turning what? I've turned 42 already. I'm turning 42. And sometimes a lot of you are half my age, right? So you have a big opportunity in front of you to kind of to succeed, right? So basically, when I started this company, I went into a bad partnership, lost my gratuity, lost my PF. I was on the road completely, and it was because of people, people around us. There was Krishnan, there was other people. We all kind of worked together to serve our customers, and that's what's brought us to where we are right now. To this person, my trainee, I told him that I have always stood on the shoulders of giants. जिसने मेरी हेल्प की है उसको जरूरत नहीं थी मेरी हेल्प करने की. He or she did not owe me anything, but they still helped me. मेरी तारीफ अपने कस्टमर के सामने करनी, मुझे काम दे देना, मुझे बाद में पूछना कि तूने नौकरी छोड़ी, तेरे को निकाल दिया गया. ऐसे नहीं, ये पंगा मैंने खुद ही लिया था. So everybody helped me. So I was sharing this with this person, and then his response was very interesting. So I want to share that response with all of you. His response was that the way I see it as an Eklavya is that it wasn't them who was doing you a favor. It was them returning your favors. The way I see you, this person's telling me that the way I see you, you've always been a giver. Whenever you've had a chance, you've tried to help people by your knowledge, by your experience, wherever you could have contributed, you tried to help them, and they've just kind of returned your favor. Now, I don't know how to respond to that, honestly. I myself have, like this introvert kind of trust issues, so I don't know whether that's true or not, but I think there's a lesson in that for all of you. Be givers. Be givers for your customers, your colleagues, your tech leads, your CTO, your managers, your vendors, be good to them. To all of you, I'd like to say something. Number one, respect your customers. Respect your customers. In letter, in spirit, in action. सारा attitude बाहर रहेगा. Customer है, इसलिए हम exist करते हैं. We exist because of our customers. Give them the respect that they deserve. Number one. Number two is be in a constant state of improvement. Read. Oh, I can't underscore this enough. Read. I mean, this is what will set you apart from anybody else around you. The person who's read more will succeed more. Bottom line is this. So invest as much time as you can to read. That's one point that I can say is the most important part of this so-called monologue that I'm sharing with you. Number three, take more responsibilities. They say that a human body has got 206 bones, but this 207th bone of responsibility and ownership was developed when I was an employee in some other company. I took up more responsibility, I took up more ownership. I did not say, ye mera kaam nahi hai. I went the extra mile. And honestly, this is the age when you can do this. I don't know, this is being recorded, so I don't know, internet पे डाल देगा, देखो लाला जी कैसे बातें कर रहे हैं हमारे साथ, he's trying to squeeze the lifeblood out of us. But honestly, I'm telling you, if you don't invest time right now, when you grow up, your responsibilities are going to increase. You will not have this kind of time that you have right now. So burn the midnight oil while you can right now. This is that time, this is that stage in your career when you can do this. Dress up well. I mean, in front of customers, I see some of you wearing informals. Don't do that. This is not a back office kind of a job. You're directly facing customers. Look professional, act professional. That's something that I've observed offhand is not happening. So please make sure that happens. And imbibe the values, imbibe the golden rules, imbibe the values that you have. Understand what our mission is. Our mission is to empathize with our customers and help them succeed. All right. So that's the bottom line. Frankly, all this, Gyan ki Varsha is not something that I've read from some internet, Gaurav Maheshwari and whatnot that I'm sharing with you. This has been taught to me. How has it been taught to me? By my partners. A lot of you know Vinod Patni sir, and so many others. These are the people who taught me how I can serve my customers better. they are the ones who taught me how to treat my vendors better. And every day is a source of learning for me. But eternally grateful to these people to have taught me how to be a better entrepreneur and how to be a better manager. I believe whatever we have done is thanks to the efforts of every one of you. This is 100% a team effort. I don't run after top lines. I don't run after agle saal. Of course, I set targets that where do I want to take the company next year and the year after that. But honestly, the top line is not an important metric for me. Important metric for me is my customers and their supreme most satisfaction. Customer कामयाब होगा तो हम कामयाब होंगे. That is the bottom line. All right. And I'm thankful to all my team members. I want to thank every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Sana, Hikmat, Aditya, Krishnan, Harpreet, Pavan, and of course Aditi, you, and all of you, every single one of you. I want to thank all of you. You've been my sounding boards when I've felt lonely. When I'm driving the car, मैं बोलते रहता हूँ मैं अकेला हूँ. मेरी बेटी कहती है मैं हूँ ना अकेला. Right? I feel very lonely nowadays, but then it's because of you guys that we're able to do whatever we're able to do. Thank you for all the works, the hard work that you put in. Thank you for the processes that you've implemented. Thank you for managing the finances. Thank you for being the sound of the the voice of the employees, and being their mentor, being their guide. And thank you for being the backbone of the organization from a technical perspective. Backbone. And thank you for everything. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you.